Hello everyone. I'm just going to do a quick follow-up video talking some more about what the energies are speaking to us about Chiron in Aries, about Uranus moving into Taurus, and the full moon in Scorpio coming this weekend, and how that relates to the unleashing of the fire and transformation coming to institutions, yes, our governments, yes, our actual physical earth, mountains crumbling most likely, or at least opening up and letting out the fire. And we're going to talk about Amanda Ellis. Her spray for Archangel Metatron is the flame spray, because Archangel Metatron is the Holy Spirit, the flame and the fire of the Spirit of God. And I was just talking to a client that I had this morning. We both have background in the church. And I was listening to, he was talking to me about a song that we used to sing in my church. I'm not singing the song, but it's called "The Comforter Has Come." That's how the Bible referred to the energy of the Holy Spirit, to Archangel Metatron. So I was listening to a recording on YouTube. I want to say it was SEU. I'm not sure. I don't know them at all, but it was just songs about the Holy Spirit. And it's, you know, listening to it was a mega church, and it was just thousands of people calling out to the energy of the Holy Spirit to bring the fire to come into the church. It was about the Holy Spirit always dwelling within us. And they're using different terms for the same energy, the Metatron energy. Metatron is the flame, the fire. And that's what we're talking about with Mars meeting the planet of transformation, Pluto. And we're talking about that in the institutions of the church. Just imagine, like for us in the United States, the evangelical movement has moved so far away from the teachings of the New Testament, and the highest truth teachings of the Bible, because we don't even know what those were. We've got you know, the explanations done by the King James Council that we all just keep making different, you know, putting into modern terms the same words that they were saying. In those days, they believed, just like we know that Spirit always appoints whoever's supposed to be in power. So like them or not, you know, I knew that who was going to be elected in this country. I did not vote for him, but I knew who it was going to be. And I know why. But I still did not vote for him, and which is fine with them too. You have to just do whatever, you know, feels right to you. I more voted against him, just as Amanda said, that all of us were coming from not voting for the other person, rather than, a lot of us, I should say, weren't like so in love with the candidate that we voted for. We just were voting against the other person. So we're all coming from a place of fear. But the point is that they believed that God put the king in power as if like the king was a representation of God. And so the King James Council was trying to write a book to rule society. That's why they got rid of the women, because the women in the Bible and the stories of, you know, the teachings of Isis and the divine feminine that were coming forward in the Bible weren't in line with society in those days. So this is a time that, yes, we're going to transform the church itself, the structure of the church, and that you can point to any church. And I'm just going to say, like, the institutions of religion is what they're saying. In order to access our own I am, which is Chiron in Aries. It's healing. Chiron is Christ. It's the Christ consciousness coming forward in each of us. That's what he kept saying. I'm the great I am. He was trying to teach us, like, I'm coming in. He knew what he was here doing, and he was teaching all of us how to get to our I am presence, which is through the power of forgiveness. He didn't die on the cross because we're a bunch of wretched sinners. He died on the cross to show that he forgave. What did they say that he said? What was the one thing? Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. They're just playing their roles. And the power of forgiveness in each of our lives, for all of us who have been wronged by someone, that grudge, that resentment that we hold on to, that's what's keeping us from coming into our I am presence. And then Uranus in Taurus, when Uranus moves into Taurus in just a couple of weeks, Uranus is going to be in a trine energy. Uranus brings change, awakening, awakening is what he keeps saying. It like shakes things up, and it doesn't want the status quo. It wants something new. It brings revelations from the higher realms, from the cosmos, and that energy is going to be trining the sign of Capricorn. They're both earth. So anytime you're talking about the elements, the matching up, that's a trine energy. It's an easy, harmonious flow of energy. So we're talking about the fire of transformation, the Holy Spirit coming into our institutions that we think of as like the authorities. And we're coming into our own authority, Chiron and Aries. The I am presence within each and every one of us. The truth that when it was said that man was created in the image of God, it meant that we're all sparks of God. We're all sparks of the light of creation, God. And so we're going to now call in the energies of the light of creation and Archangel Metatron, who is the energy of the Holy Spirit, and then Sananda, who incarnated as Jesus, the Christ consciousness. We're just going to say the Christ consciousness. And we're going to ask them to be with us now, and we're going to do a meditation for peace, and he's saying tranquility, to just quell these energies that are going on in the planet now, because what's happening with this full moon scenario and this conversation then that Mars will have with Uranus before he moves into Taurus could be, he's saying, earth shaking. We're going to just ask that those energies are quelled within all of us, because yes, the energies, the planets talk to, you know, the earth and in relation to what's happening on the earth, but as within, so without, as above, so below. So if you'll just take a minute with me, we're going to just take a deep breath in and then release. Centering ourselves in our heart space, seeing that orange glowing flame of the Holy Spirit, of the energy of Archangel Metatron, and encircling that flame, see the white light, see it expanding out, filling and expanding your heart space, coming down, encircling around the bottom of your feet, your earth star, anchoring you into the heart of the earth, and then enveloping you, coming up around your crown chakra, your higher chakras. And I want you to just say, I, say your name, and the light of creation. I am the light of creation. I am the light of creation. And we're just going to make the command, creator of all that is, it is commanded, to quell the energies of stress and tension, of war, of strife, of negativity, to send all of those from each of our spaces and from the earth as a whole to the light of creation, to call forward the awakening and the transformational energy of the flame of the Holy Spirit, who the church is crying out for, to come to each of them now, that the transitions that are going to be made on this planet, in our governments, and in each of our lives can come forward peacefully, quelling the violence and the resistance to these changes, calling forward light on the earth. Just see that light now coming out from your space and enveloping your neighborhood, your community, your town, going out, enveloping your entire country, and expanding out now to encircle the continent, wherever you live, and now the earth as a whole. See it resting in that white light, feeling that energy of unconditional love flow through you. And as it flows into you, it flows out from you, encircling and encompassing the earth. And we're just going to hold the earth in that energy. Asking the hosts of heaven, the beings of light, to be around each one of us and around all that is. The animals, the marine life, the oceans, the trees, every piece of creation on this planet, enveloped and encircled in the energy of unconditional love. And Metatron is saying no matter how much shaking there is on the planet, we all stand firm. We are held. We are supported. We are engulfed and encircled in love. We are safe. We are well kept. And now just come back into your own space. Still seeing that orange flickering energy in your heart space. Still seeing yourself enveloped in that white light of unconditional love, of Source. Rooting then into the earth, going down those thick, heavy black roots, bringing your love, the love of the Creator of all that is, into the earth. And then we're just going to recognize where we're sitting, wiggling our toes and our fingers, and just zipping up our energy. Okay, so I was just drawn to do that after the conversation I had with my client earlier today, who was also raised in the church. And so I hope that that helped everyone to just, feel that peaceful space for a little while. And, anytime that over the next few weeks, few months that you're feeling out of sorts, maybe listen to it again. So peace, everyone. All right.